Hello, my name is Dan Weston, and I'd like to introduce you to Google Reader. Google Reader is a free service provided by Google in order to help us stay up to date with content that's put out on the web. If you're anything like me, you spend a lot of time going from site to site looking up information. Google Reader is an effort by Google to take all that information and compile it so that the information comes to you rather than you continually having to go to individual sites to get that information. Let's go ahead and log in and take a look at the interface. Okay, here's the default interface of Google Reader. As you can see, Google's provided a great, clean, simple interface for us to use. On the left hand, you have a button that you can use to add a subscription. You have the subscriptions that you are currently following, people you follow, an Explore section, and your subscriptions down below. Let's go ahead and subscribe to some feeds. You can add a subscription by clicking the button in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. This will bring up a box where you can enter either a URL or a term you'd like to search for. Let's go ahead and enter in a URL, and then we'll come back and enter in a term as well. Here I am on a site that I like to frequent. I like to read some of their posts and keep up to date on the information they're publishing. The easiest way to get the RSS feed is by clicking up in the URL bar on the RSS button. I just want the basic RSS feed, so I'm going to click on that. Once that loads, you'll see that the URL is changed and the site looks quite different. The next step is to copy this URL and then go back to Google Reader and paste it in. And click the Add button. Once you've done it, it will appear in the left-hand side under your Subscriptions tab. Let's go ahead and add a subscription by searching for a term now. Another site that I like to frequent is called Lifehacker. While I know I could go out and get the URL, I could also just search like I just did. You'll see the most relevant results appear, and sure enough, the one I want to subscribe to is right up here on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and click the subscribe button. Now, both of these blogs refer to the same type of thing. They both kind of focus on technology. So I would like to put those together so that when I look at them, I can see content coming in from both of these websites at the same time. To do that, click on the Manage Subscriptions link at the bottom left of the browser. We're now brought to a new interface that lists all of the feeds that I'm currently subscribed to. As you can see on here, I have no folders to add these to, but I'd like them to be in the same folder. So all I have to do is click on Add to a folder, click New Folder, and give that folder a name. Now I can either add the TechCrunch feed to the same folder by clicking on Add to a folder and selecting the Tech folder that I just created, or if I go back to Google Reader, I can go ahead and click and drag that feed into the folder as well. Now that they're in the same folder, there's a couple things that I can apply to both of those. Up at the top of the list of feeds, you'll notice we have a mark as read with a few different options. We have a refresh button that'll bring in any new content that was recently published on either of these sites. And then we have some folder settings. I'm only going to focus on the top three, but the rest of these can be very helpful as well. The top one, sort by newest, of course, puts the content coming in as the newest. So the latest information published on the sites will come in first. Sort by the oldest means the opposite, where the older material will appear first in your feed. And then there's Sort by Magic, where Google will sort the feed based off of what they think is your best interest. Now, if we also look at the bottom of each post, there's a few different options that I'd like to briefly talk about. The first one is Add a Star. Adding a star, in effect, creates a personal bookmark. You can find the starred items on the left-hand side by expanding the All Items section. The next option is Like. This will allow you to share with other people using Google Reader that you like the post and the content contained within it. You can also share it with your friends that can follow you on Google Reader, or share with a note. This allows you to add a note to the sharing of this feed with your friends. You can also send an email with the information of the feed in the body of that email. You can keep it unread to a later date, or you can add tags. This was just a brief overview of all the amazing things you can do with Google Reader. I hope you've enjoyed this brief video and enjoy your time using Google Reader.